Up, everybody? Look here, I have got my life on this earth savior, my life coach, Sohan Ko. Sohan, it's so good to see you. I love you so much. You're the reason that I am where I'm at. I'm just going to tell you, you're such a big part to walk me to be on my journey with me from the beginning when we first met on that one Zoom call before I went to Mexico. And I'm sure you're like, what's up with this guy? You know, and then after, I mean, it's been almost a year since you've been my coach, and you mean so much to me. You're one of my best friends. I know I can come to you. I know that I get to look forward to once a week getting online with you. I know you're in Canada, so we've never
Yes.
personally met, but it just feels like I've known you my whole life. Um, but it's nice to have a safe place that I know that once a week, and they've all really been pretty good. But if it wasn't, that I could just come to you, and it's a safe place that I can share with you my thoughts, my struggles, or even my things that are going well and my encouragement, and come to you for you do such an amazing job of making me find my own answer. But I just wanted to thank you for everything, and welcome you. So how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's my honor to support you, Russ. Like
Uh,
you since I met you already, we clicked, and I saw that you're very genuine, so you were so ready for change. So
yeah,
that was like perfect for me to work with.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know about my journey, it's just, to make it a short and sweet thing, that I met Sohan in November. I think it was October, actually, because I went November 8th to Cancun for
hmm
gain treatment. And part of their process was to get like a what is that called? Like a screening or something?
Well, there was this preparation call for you. I like you were going into ibogaine treatment, so that was so important to talk to you about like what to expect and to prepare you mentally and physically to go into such an intense journey. For you, like it's a deep journey. Like Russ did so well and dive deep into his own personal journey and reflect his own life, and the addiction was behind him at the time, and then he really wanted to quit and stop and just like start a new chapter of his life. And I was there basically just to get him ready for it, and then give him the confidence and empower him and see that, like, just let him know that I saw that, like, he got this and he has the strength to go through that. So this is one of the things, being working with you so much about just reflecting back to you what kind of good quality you already have and the strength you already have in you. I didn't give anything to you. I just help you to see that and trust that that's already in yourself. Yeah.
Well, you had a major way of doing it, and played such a major role. And that's I just recently got my life coaching certification. They have the ceremony in October, and it's funny. That's really what I learned. I know that what we have is really already in us. And as a life coach, you are able to pull those strengths from people that they really already have, and believe in them and encourage them. And that's what you did for me. And it was such an amazing journey. It's hard to believe it's been a year almost. And things in my life are going great. I know that you're doing well. And what else, now you live in Canada? What else give us a little bit of your background, like just what got you to where you are?
Well, what got me to where I am right now, basically, it's walking my own journey very authentically and just, we live a life and then we reach, we hit some walls and we make mistake and then, but what it is just don't be frustrated and don't give up and just learn the meaning from all these mistakes that we made and then learn the lesson and carry through and just move forward. So that's basically prepping me for that. But more so is that when I was in Hong Kong and I was about 30 around that time, I wasn't happy. And then it was because that's why, like, I always work with the client to understand these kind of negative emotions or difficulty in life and challenges in life. They're not here to block us. They just like come to our life to show us that what do we need to change. So the depression I experienced at the time basically reflect that I needed more in my life. I needed to kind of break free some of the blockages and that stagnation I had in my life and the patterns and so on. So then I left and then I moved away from Hong Kong and moved to Canada and started to work with plant medicine. So Russ did iboga, so that is one of plant medicine, psychedelic medicine that. So I was experimenting several kind of medicine as well around that time. It really that broke me open. So So that was intense few years for me to go through, and then I started to become very bonded with psychedelics and healing and awakening, and I started to go into Buddhist study as well and different kind of spirituality and yoga and all that. So, and then I slowly, I walked my path, and then I started to get more feedback when I just like work with other people and helping out just as friends, and then eventually like people started to say maybe you can actually just go into coaching, and like started to like have a structure so that you can work with people like this. So that's why I did that, and that's why like Russ is one of my clients at the time. I felt like he is ready to mentor, to be a mentor and to be a guide.
Thank you.
So yeah, he got this. Yeah, it's like the
Thank you.
energy and the positivity and that enthusiasm of life and the faith is so good. And then I mean, you gotta share
That's
with other
that's so
people.
good. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, good stuff. They it's in my spirit. I feel we kind of. I told you we were just going to roll with this thing, and this is it's so weird because it's always you asking me the questions, and this time I get to ask you a
That's
question.
right.
Yeah, so it's like a practice call for me.
All right.
I kind of feel it in my. You explained this to me one time, and I didn't tell you I was going to ask this, but you to anybody watching, I may even tend this to kind of push more toward psychedelic healing because I've had such a good experience with it. I know that God put that in my life, and the way He did it and the timing of it, it was amazing. You explained to me the difference. I did Ibogaine, and I think you said that was maybe the grandfather of things. And then you do is it called ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca is one of my plant teacher. You can say the teacher plant for me that has been like the medicine that I worked with for years. Yes, is ayahuasca.
Will you explain the difference in those two and maybe how both of those could help somebody who's struggling with not only whether it be addiction, whether it be anxiety, depression,
Mhm.
whatever, or just kind of give
For
us an
sure.
idea of what they both do?
Yeah, so they both are very strong. Like I think two of the most powerful plant medicine in the world, I would say. So Iboga is from Gabon. It's a wood bark, and they call it the grandfather. It's more masculine grounding energy. It represents truth within oneself. When you like work with the medicine, it's almost like you find the truth within yourself quite easily, rather than just being like blocked by all these preconceptions and ideas and so on. Now ayahuasca is from the jungle in the Amazon. So it's like in Peru or Brazil and different areas as where you can find ayahuasca. So they call it the grandmother. It's
Mhm.
the plant teacher of all plants in the jungle. It's like a pharmacy in there. So they both are very good for healing healing different kind of mental conditions, mental illnesses, and unpack a lot of the PTSD, so depression, anxiety, and addiction. So they work in different way, but they are both being used to treat addiction and different mental conditions for a while now, and been proven to be very successful. The way it works is to go deep into the trauma and allow yourself to reprocess it and then to purge. Ayahuasca is a purgative, so it's like letting go and releasing a lot of traumatic response in the body. So after that, you feel like you're cleansed and purified. So you start to feel like you are almost like you're a newborn. So you experience iboga, right? So isn't that like when you did after you
Yeah,
had the evoking treatment, you came out, it's like you're back to your true self. It's like you're a freshly born, like it's
yeah.
like a rebirth experience.
It
Yeah.
really was. It was like a cleansing. I remember, I would describe it. Mine felt like when I had anesthesia before, I just kind of had
Hmm.
that groggy feeling for like a day, maybe at the most. I kind of rested the next day. And then that second day, I remember running down the hall at Beyond going, oh my God, am I going to feel like this every day? And I'm like, this
Yeah.
is to be true. And then, I didn't know that, they told me that, oh, you really
Hmm.
forget about what it was like to be an addict and all that. And really, unless I
Hmm.
talk about it and have to really remember, I don't remember. I don't remember the bad feelings of anxiety. I don't remember the bad feelings of depression. I don't
Hmm.
remember wanting to use a substance to be able to I guess suppress any of my feelings because it not only reset my mind, it gave me this new energy to go and put initiative to the tools and things that were in place. A lot of them that you taught me, a lot of them that you helped me find. Um, every day I wake up driven by that. And because now I've created these habits, and they said the first 3 months when you come back is so important to, you told me, Russ, if you come back and you start running, remember you say jogging, you're going to want to jog the rest of your life. So whatever you do when you come back. So I went to school. I started getting in on listening to a lot of positive and motivational speakers and things like that. And it just got a drive in me. I gave my spiritual life back to God fully, realizing I can still be Russ and crazy, but I can still love God and honor God and love people, and I know that the two commandments that I always go by is love, the Lord God with all your heart, and love thy neighbor. And I think my whole purpose, it helped me find my purpose. And now I'm living my purpose. So that was what was really neat that happened with me.
Yeah, exactly. And then like you did really well. Like a lot of people, they do the ibogaine treatment, but if they don't do the integration after that, if they don't give the effort after that, like yes, your addiction could be gone for a little bit, or you might feel a little bit better, but you could slip back. So that's why it's super important to follow this plant medicine experience and journeys or ceremonies, however you call it, with follow that with like really solid integration plan. So that's when it's important to have somebody to walk through that path with you
Yeah.
for a little bit, to remind you that like no, you even you get tickled a little bit by stress and you want to like slip back to the bad habit or like start to be depressed again. Just come back to the routine, come back to the structure that you create for yourself that is aligned with who you really are. Go for a run or whatever, like go play music. You're such a musician. I said, like, just play music, choose a
Yeah.
song and play music. And
Yeah.
so then when you do something you love to do, then you start to get the reward, the sense of reward, and you feel better and you ride on the momentum to continue to change and stay on that, right? So that's why like it's very successful interruption that ibogaine treatment is. So you did really well in it, and then afterwards as well. That's why you're able to really transform. Yeah, just becoming more and more true to yourself. Basically, you become more who you are. Basically, yeah.
I saw it's, and the thing is with that, I want to, I'm really interested in it. And here's the thing, people are starting to realize that it works. I saw Talia on a TikTok thing today, and she was driving to Kentucky because they're one of the states who are really trying to push the study for ibogaine to make it legal. It's not, of course, we know it's not legal in the United States. But yet I know that soldiers in the special forces have been doing treatments, and it's helping with PTSD. And you've seen firsthand how many people that it's healing. And it's a shame that it's illegal in places so people can't make money. It's just, I look at big pharma and government regulations here in the United States, and I'm like, we have people, opioid deaths are out the roof, and here we have this. Why not? What's it going to hurt to try? Not another COVID shot.
Yeah,
So,
totally. Yeah, so that you can find you can still find this medicine in some like Costa Rica and Bahamas. You can find ibogaine as well. Mexico, they have a bunch of it, and you know, yeah. And then you can find a lot of ayahuasca in Peru as well. Costa Rica, they got some, and yeah. So this is a tricky part, but like that's like they're pushing the legalization in many places right now too.
yeah.
MAPS is doing a lot of work in
Mhm.
that regard.
Wow, that's
So
neat.
that would be, yeah. So in some states in America, like I think like psilocybin is being legalized too, mushroom.
Okay. I don't need
I
any
think it's,
mushrooms, man. I
yeah,
did my one time, and I
yeah,
was
yeah.
in the world. It was, oh man,
Mhm.
I remember it was one of those things. I saw things that I to this day know what I saw. And I was like, ooh, it wasn't like, I don't regret that I did. I'm kind of glad I know. But at the
Mhm.
same time, I'm like, never again. That was a different
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was a
yeah,
spiritual
totally.
world. Yeah, exactly. Um,
Mhm.
and I just want to ask you a couple more questions, Sohan, and thank you again so much just for bringing your wisdom and your
Mhm.
guidance to me. What can you explain to people who are looking maybe for a life coach what life coaching is?
Life coaching is different from counseling and therapy for sure. And I think mostly one of the Like, I would say like when you start to feel lost sometimes, and especially like some of the thing that you struggle, it's not that easy for you to share with the people around you. It might be triggering, So if you feel like you don't really feel the support around yourself, and start to, and also feeling a little bit lost and confused about the direction in life, then
Mhm.
it is the time, and life coaching is really good. It's different from therapy. It's not so much about going deep into the trauma, whatever it
Right.
is, but I mean, it's possible to do that
Yeah.
work too. It depends on the coach you have, and at least you would have a person who's almost like a companion a little bit to walk that path with you, and then
Yeah.
your coach will keep you accountable, will start to set up some goals and help you to set up some goals in life and try to ambition,
Right.
what kind of life do you want to live, and then make some steps to go towards that,
Yeah.
and try to tackle and overcome all kind of barriers along the way with you, not
That's
really
good.
telling you what to do. Not
Yeah.
like I don't usually go in there and assert my opinion sometimes. If you have any preferences, and political preferences or sexual preferences, for example, it's not in my place to tell you what to do, and it's not my opinion. It's not there. But what I'm doing is what life coaching should do is to really help you to find the answer for yourself, but like offer that support, emotional and or even with ideas as well, to make that decision, the right decision for yourself. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. It's like, it seems to me like if someone's wondering if they needed a life coach, to me, if someone's stuck in life, or they feel like, man, this is not where I wanted to be at age whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I'm motivated. I don't feel like I'm doing anything purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
To me, a life coach is able to come in and help you find these things. And it really, what you did, you helped me say, Russ, well, what about this? What do you like? And you start asking me these things that I like. I'm like, okay, how can we apply to doing that? What steps can you take
Mm-hmm.
this week to give me one goal? It's kind of like that. And it's
Mm-hmm.
if somebody's watching and wondering, do I need a life coach? Right? How do they know
Mm-hmm.
if they and it may be kind of similar to that question I asked you. Um, what what makes them go, okay, I want to try this life coach thing out?
Mm-hmm. When they feel confused, like as I said, like when sometimes you feel like you're stuck a little bit, and you know that like something is not quite aligned in your life, maybe the career and your health, relationships, and kind of like there's some issue arising right there, and then you know that okay, so that might be something need to be readjust and realigned right there. And usually this kind of negative feeling come is to call you to pay attention,
Mhm.
right? So then when you feel like it's a bit confused or even lost or don't really know what to do, just go get a life coach, just get some advice from your coach. And it's just like when you start to get baseball, you learn baseball, like, all right, so I kind of know a little bit skills, but to get good at it, you might want to
Right.
have a baseball coach to train you,
That's good.
for intensively for a period of time before you can go on your own, right?
Right.
So living a life isn't that easy. Sometimes like people coming from, maybe a broken family, or like have trauma from the past, or just feel, just feeling lost in general. So
Mhm.
it is okay. It's okay to get somebody's help, because it's going to come a long way, and then you can help other people after that, create these ripple effects.
Mhm. I know that when I first dealt with addiction, and I went to rehab twice, and then went to
Mhm.
Beyond, and that was just, I think, just my life changer. I had two strikes. This was number three, and I I feel like I knocked that one out of the park, and will continue. I didn't really I like to keep things to myself until I got into groups, small groups or rooms, or even with a life coach, because a lot of times I love my alone time. I love my time, my introvert time when I'm by myself, but
Mhm.
you got to have, it's a balance. You got to have the extrovert
Mhm.
part, and we have to have each other. We have to have community. And just being
Mhm.
able, and this one thing that my mindset changed on counseling, really, we're us talking house counseling, because I'm confiding in someone else that I trust, okay, important things about me. And it totally changed, because I watched people's lives change in the small group settings. I've
Mhm.
seen my life change by talking with you, and
Mhm.
being encouraged by you, even if it's just by a text or whatever, even if it's not scheduled. I know in my mind that you're one call away, And if I said, so this just happened, I need somebody, boom, you're right there. And there's security in that. And there's security in knowing that I have a coach. You know, I mentioned your name probably on more things than you see. I mean, my coach, his name's Sohan, she does this, that, you know, but that's kind of a security blanket for me. And I think that's another thing that having a life coach gives people. So yeah.
Absolutely. You're right about that. It's just like knowing that like sometimes we don't have to do everything alone. And there's also different period of time in life too, right? Like sometimes we are more independent. Sometimes we need more community and connection to walk through what we had to walk through, right? So that's why, yeah, having like a support like that, even you don't talk every day, is actually very, very comforting. It's like a security thing for sure.
You're so awesome. I tell you, I love you. Look, I appreciate you doing this, and this means the world to me. I've started up like a digital ministry channel, and it's not like religious. It's more, you know, just kind of just talking more common, and like we're talking now about spiritual things, about God, about life, about positive. And I don't know if you saw yet, but last night I did my first guitar lesson. I said, okay, I'm going to come up with this uncommon, crazy way of just how I learned. It's not maybe the right way, but I went in and put that, and I said, well, you know what? To give people skills and tools to how to do things. Most of my friends love music. I'm like, listen, these are the way I learned these 3 chords, you know, and it may not be the right way that a music teacher would teach you, but this gets you playing a song.
Yeah.
So
that's important. You need to have fun first, right?
Yes, I'm like, you know, forget the music rules. I can, you know, I can just move these. I can move 2 fingers and keep these 2 on the 3rd fret, and just move these 2 fingers and make a G C D chord. And it's so much easier to learn, because I mean that's 70% of all songs was those chords. Yeah. And I'm like, listen, just go strums, and it's going to go blank, 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 you know, for a little while. And mine still do. So I had fun doing that. You know, my other stuff I like doing a lot. And so that's you know, I guess I'm putting that in. So that's just I just want you to know that that's a result of your coaching. And I know you say it's me, and part of it is, and part of it's God, but you played such a big role in my life, and you're a best friend to me. I look up to you. You inspire me, you encourage me, and you have a wonderful heart. And I just want you to know how much I love you, and thank you for everything.
Thank you. I love you too, Russ. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I love it. Well, hang on with me here. I'm gonna end this call real quick in that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much. I love you.
Love you too.